Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, I want to talk about how people are basically uh, siloing themselves or separating themselves based upon uh, the group that they believe they're in or not. The group they say is us, and the us versus them. And what I see, first of all, is with changing technology, with artificial intelligence, we're seeing a pushback by people that are low effort, anti-intellectualism, or simply don't want to spend the effort. There's a sliding scale, of course. I understand a lot of people are fearful in a reasonable way, and should be. That's being guarded. But I see a lot of people that are starting to refuse people and their opinions because of the fact that they use technology. Now, I know that I am more of a technologist than a lot of people are, but I'm speaking about, like, in general, there's a certain skepticism, fear, um, and so instead of addressing that, people simply decide that you're not worth hearing. So this is a fracture. This is a fractured society, and it's not because of technology. It's because people refuse to learn. People embrace their fears. And so we're going to see that going forward. Now, in my personal case, an older sister that I wrote a letter to, that was my writing. It was a thoughts about our history, basically. It was a thought about the history of the relationship. It was a short email that just basically said, to work on things to get better, communicate more. That she saw written by, or she saw Google Gemini AI on there, and immediately leapt to the assumption that AI had consumed me. Yeah, like that AI had taken over my life. So this is a common perception that is kind of off the mark by people that haven't used AI. The first thing that you can tell someone has not used AI is when they presume that it's black or white, like AI created it or you created it. That's the problem. AI you can write an article. You could tell AI, write an article about this, and then publish it. That's probably low effort. Or you could do like me. The way I do it is I have a conversation about a topic with AI, and then I ask for a summary, and then I take that summary and I rewrite it, move it around, and make it what I call tech talk. Some people might call it nerd talk. And then the computer makes it, the AI actually formats it in a way so that people will be able to read it. It's not like a technological document. Because as an engineer, I write mostly devoid of emotion, very straightforward. And so I think it's important that people are going to have to understand it. In a new world, technology is not the villain. It's people that want to separate themselves because of fear of technology. Um, so you don't have to love AI. You don't have to even like AI. But I strongly would suggest that a lot of people not continue to be afraid of it. At least familiarize yourself a little, because eventually you're going to have to know. You're going to have to stop being afraid, and start actually using the tool. And once you do, you'll see that it really brings out the best in you. It doesn't replace you. If you just think AI is going to replace who you are, then I don't think you fundamentally have used AI. Because if you're using it just write a Facebook reply that just says all this shit and like that, that's different. Like, you have to still interject you. You still have to be the main focus. So there's also the concern about people that would say if you're using AI in a lot of parts of your life that you become technology obsessed. And yeah, it's possible, but in general, it's not anything other than your perception. Okay? Anything other than perception. So my sister and I'm not going to say we're estranged so much as we are unable to communicate because she's convinced that AI has some sort of a effect on people. I agree, but I think the problem is her problem. She wants to be off the grid, so to speak, which I respect. But you can't have it both ways, folks. If you're going to be involved in modern society, you're going to have to accept that AI is a part of your life. I saw people in the 90s did protest the internet. Now, how silly does that look? I get if you don't like AI, but stop acting afraid of it. That's the key. Don't be afraid of it, and don't stereotype people because it's going to be a very common thing. And if you stereotype people, you're stereotyping yourself, basically, as the person that does not like or is afraid of AI. It will become clearer and clearer who those people are. It's pretty clear now on social media already. So my sister and I are not estranged, and we're going to speak. Everything is fine in terms of that, but in terms of me relating to her personal issues and my things that I think of, my little projects and stuff, I no longer will speak to that because that is something that does not help us really help our relationship any. If anything, it continues to damage it, and that's the case when you have a relative or a friend. You don't have to shut them out as much as you have to make sure you protect the relationship. And if things aren't working, at least take a break and step back. So the whole point of this is that this type of thing is going to be a thing. And of course, people will blame AI, but AI is not the issue, and technology is not the issue. It's fear. Living in fear of something you don't know, and you're reticent to learn new things. If you oppose it, if you're adamantly against it, ask yourself why. And a large part of the reason that people are opposed to it are two things: fear, and the bigger thing, I think, is they don't want to learn new shit. Just that simple. Don't want to learn a bunch of new shit. Which is funny because AI actually can make your life so much easier. Just by, there's a lot of different ways. I'm not going to get into that, but you can have agents doing things for you. You can calculate dates. You can do the most basic stuff. And you don't have to immerse yourself in it, become an AI person like myself. But don't be afraid of it. Also, one thing I've noticed is that there's a human siloing. Humans are siloing themselves by what I call white knight. You know what white knight is. So I posted a post or a video about Gay Pride Parade in Marysville, Ohio, and the commentary was not to denigrate the community in Marysville or elsewhere. The point was to ask that there be more representation of the community rather than just the quote loud and proud, the colorful people. And I don't understand why that is viewed as an attack. Asking for more of the lesbian gay community, asking for more representation to get to know them better, to go beyond the stereotype, to actually talk with people that are more everyday people. Not to say that they're generic or anything, but they're just people that their entire identity is not wrapped up in colorful protest. Gay pride parade, someone said to me, started out as a protest, and when's it going to end? When's the protest going to end? You can keep protesting, and you can start actually bringing other people to the table rather than just the loudest voices. And to be clear, I love drag queens. I'm not sure about the kid thing. I'm with a lot of people in there. I don't think they should be having kids around them, not young kids. I just, that's one thing I think about. But at the same time, here in Marysville, the parade was uptown. There was a lot of teens and stuff, and they were following. I don't really think it's a bad thing at all to do that. It's perfectly fine, I think. But having like meetings in the library with drag queens and stuff, it's a little bit more personal, okay? So I'm not really a fan of that. But when will the community that demonstrates that they represent that community, when will they cede the microphone and let everybody else talk in that group? So there's also a common misconception and very stupid argument, I might add, that I am not able to communicate my feelings on the LGBTQ plus community because I'm straight. That seems to be a brilliant argument that people can come up with. It's probably about the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You're white, so you cannot talk about Carmelo Anthony or black issues. You're straight, so you cannot comment on LGBTQ plus issues. You are not part of this group. You are not allowed to talk about this group. And the irony is, the people saying that are not part of the group either. And they are white knighting and putting opinions about a community which they do not represent. They are the ones that are doing what they say they're doing. They are stereotyping. People attack me and think that I'm saying we want to get rid of drag queens are completely missing the point. Drag queens can stay. Drag queens can be loud and proud. We can watch Dragula. That's the show my wife and I. We've seen them a couple of times. I'm an artist too, by the way. I'm very much, I love the colorful things. I love the gay pride, the colorful aspect, the rainbow, all that. They don't own the rainbow, of course, I just say that. But I have no aversion to that. And I even said in my video that I think the drag queens and all the people out there look like they were having one hell of a time. They look like they were having fun. I have no problem with that. But I just wonder, I don't wonder, I know people have a warped perception of the communities, not just this community, any community. The reason things don't move forward is because people say, shut up, you don't have any right to talk about that. That's the real problem. And yet when something horrible happens, like the Carmelo Anthony, people in the black community will come out and say, this is terrible, when will we see this change? When is it time that white America will sit down and have a discussion? When can we talk about race? Because we think it's time. I go online and post a video about my attack on Carmelo. It's more of a commentary on the sad state of affairs when you can't even have just a fist fight. And of course I'm labeled this extreme racist and told, how dare you, sir? Well, what I'm doing is what everyone has said publicly. The people that lead say we need to have a dialogue. And I agree, we do. But we can't have a dialogue if everyone wants to shut everyone down. That's what is going on. Everybody wants to shut you down. See a white guy? They don't need to watch a video. They know you're a racist. Why? Because it's lazy thinking. It's very lazy thinking. It's fear. It's the fact that a person doesn't have any argument. They don't want to discuss it because you might have some points and they don't want to hear it. That's what it is. So, naming a problem is not necessary to be part of that group. In fact, usually one of the best views is, how do other groups see you? And why do they see you that way? Why is there a perception of this? Why is it that I look on TV and I see a lot of black people with pre-Carmelo and they are defending the indefensible, and that's my impression. Intellectually, I know that those people are a very small, loud, mentally ill group of people. But what I'm saying is, when all you see is the worst of people on TV, that's the warping. That's the view that creates stereotypes and perpetuates groups being isolated. Uh, so if you're willing, there are ways to talk about these issues, but you can't just shut everyone down because uh, they want to talk about it. Like that's the bottom line. Like, people really don't want to talk about race or sex or any of these things. They want people to just shut up. But that's not going to work. People are going to want to be integrated. There's a large group of people uh, in every community that wants to integrate and not be an identity-based culture. Uh, it's separatism. It's keeping people to their own kind, whether that be your race or your sex, whatever. It's disappointing. People need to grow up. People need to start using their mind. People need to start listening to other people. People need to stop shutting down people. So what's happening is that we really need to be able to talk about things like adults. Like communicate with someone without bringing up their identity. Like as a general concept, this is a perception. Why is that? What can we do to try to get rid of that stereotype? I think, as other people have said, gay people included have said this, that we want to have the ability to let everyone know that we are regular, everyday people that are not identity focused and not grievance. Not everything is not a grievance. Every time you talk about black race is not a grievance. Sometimes there are things as constructive criticism. People that, like for example, white people that jump to the defense of a black thing that they consider an attack, that's the white knight. The white knight is someone that wants to come in and look like they're defending a group, which is also, that is racism. When you're white knighting, you're being a racist or a sexist because you are discouraging interaction between the races or between the straight gay community. You are obstructing. You are the one wanting to shut down dialogue. You are the one that likes the system the way it is now. You are the one perpetuating hate. Every time we discuss a group, it's not necessarily about an attack on their identity. In fact, it almost rarely is. It's a commentary of the state of things where they are. So this is where we're at. The silos are forming, and there are people that live in fear, and they are going to get worse. I can see it getting worse right now on Facebook. The laugh emoji, every time you see it excessively from one person, that's a person who has siloed themselves, and they don't want to talk to somebody that has a different opinion because thinking hurts their brain. They have chosen to willfully be ignorant, and they expect the rest of us to just go along with it. It's not going to happen. You can build walls around yourself. You will have to build some walls to protect yourself. If you are a regular, everyday person that uses technology, you're going to find there's going to be people that hate you. That's just that simple. There's going to be people that won't want to speak to you because you send an email and they notice Google Gemini on it. They presume the email was written by AI and not as a sort of a grammar spell checker. So I ask, are you a builder of walls, or do you tear walls down? Do you defend any kind of discussion as an attack? Do you think that any kind of criticism is a slight or a slur? Do you not understand what the concept of creative, constructive criticism? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I hope I'm allowed to say this, because people online, they're trying to censor me. They're trying to censor you. Yeah, I'm tired of it. I won't be shouted down. And what I'm doing is trying to bring up some tough issues so that people can think about them. instead of just reactively going to, you can't say this, you don't have no right. Learn your history, sir. Learn about the people you fear. I'm not the one in fear. I'm the one asking to talk to more people in each community, to get to know people beyond black and white, straight or gay. This is how we make progress. This is how we go forward. Shutting down dialogue is not acceptable, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to stop me from talking, and it's not going to stop a lot of people out there, because we have a voice too. And my voice says I want to hear from more people that are willing to talk, that want to sit down at the table, as they say, and not just silo themselves off into little groups. And so think about, what do you think? Do you think that this is an emerging trend? The anti-technologists, the anti-intellectualists, the people that don't like any kind of complex thought, that like things to be black and white. Is this the future? Yes, it is the future. Now, can we change it? Yes. How? By doing what I'm doing. That's how we change it. Make the opinion known. And when they call you extreme for making your opinion known, that's the extremists that are saying it. Drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. And I would ask that if you comment, then watch the video. You're never going to see this because you're not going to watch the video, but watch for the comments and see how people react, and be able to tell who the friggin' idiots are that didn't watch the video. Just reactively post it. Call them out if you see them, because I certainly will. Thanks, guys. Let me know what you think. I really want to hear input from everyone. Actual input, not shut your mouth.